Welcome to the Nourish to Thrive podcast, faith-forward, science-backed strategies for women who want more energy, less weight, and real answers. I'm your host, Tanya Pennington-Miller, a functional nutritional therapy practitioner and functional blood chemistry specialist with a master's degree in applied clinical nutrition. If you're tired of feeling dismissed by your doctor, confused by your labs, and stuck in survival mode, you're in the right place. Here, we simplify the science, we get to the root, and we anchor it all in truth. Because God made your body to heal and thrive, not just survive. It just needs the right kind of support and less noise. Hello, my friend. I'm so glad you're here today. I want to go deep on a topic that I've only touched on in past episodes, but I haven't given it the full attention it deserves. You know, we're told over and over again that if we want to reach our goals, the formula is pretty simple. Eat clean, work out, take your supplements, get enough sleep, breathe deeply, right? Because you can't be too stressed. And yes, those things do matter. But if you've tried them all and you still find yourself waking up exhausted, no matter how many hours you've slept the night before, then there's a deeper piece that we need to talk about. And I want to be real for a minute because all of those things I just listed are so hard to stay consistent with when you're already exhausted before your day even starts. Can I get an amen? Like, if it doesn't matter how many hours of sleep you get at night, you still wake up exhausted in the morning, then I need you to lean into this episode. Because the truth is, if you're dragging through your mornings, if your energy spikes and then it crashes all day, or if you're tired all day long only to be wired at night and you can't fall asleep, it's not just about what you're eating or your workouts. This is actually your circadian rhythm talking to you, my friend. And one of the simplest and most overlooked ways that we can reset this rhythm is what you do in the first 30 to 60 minutes after you wake up in the morning. Okay. Specifically, I'm talking about whether or not you're getting light into your eyes, okay, within that window. So morning light tells your body it's time to wake up. Reset cortisol. Start the clock that's going to help you to sleep tonight. Like, yes, that actually happens in the first 30 to 60 minutes of you waking up in the morning. And if you're skipping it, if you're not getting this light in your eyes, you are missing one of the most powerful hormone regulators that God built into your body. That's what we're digging into today. Why light matters, what happens when you miss it, and how a simple 5-minute morning habit can shift your energy. Okay, not only shift your energy for the entire day, but it's going to shift your sleep and your stress levels. And it's going to help your body release stored body fat. Your body was designed to rise with the sun. God literally built light and dark into creation. Okay, and he also built it into you and me. Morning light through your eyes is what sets this master clock in your brain, okay, which we know as the circadian rhythm. And here's how it works. When light hits your eyes in that first hour upon waking up, it sends a message to your brain that it's morning time. Okay. And that signal triggers your cortisol to rise. Okay. And this is not a bad cortisol spike. Okay. It's that healthy surge that you want first thing in the morning. Okay. This is what gives you energy. It sharpens your focus and it gets your day moving. That morning rise in cortisol also sets the timer for your melatonin. Okay. That's the hormone that helps you feel sleepy at night. So when you get up and you get that morning light, you're not only giving yourself energy for today, you're setting yourself up for better rest tonight. Okay. But many women over 35 are not getting that healthy cortisol rise in the morning. Your cortisol is flatlined in the morning. So instead of feeling alert and energized, you wake up feeling groggy and sluggish and just already behind before your day even starts. And when cortisol doesn't get that rise in the morning, it often doesn't fall the way that it should at night. Okay, our diurnal rhythm is off. So that means more tossing, more turning, more late night snacking, and of course, more frustration in general. And here's the other catch. Not all light counts. Okay. Rolling over and checking your phone, that's not it. Okay. Turning on your bathroom light, that's not enough. Okay. Artificial indoor light and screens don't carry the same wavelengths that natural morning light does. Okay. And your body knows the difference. Okay. The good news is this doesn't have to be complicated. Just 5 to 10 minutes outside in natural light, even if it's cloudy outside, is going to help to reset your rhythm. No sunglasses, no glass windows in between, just you and the morning sky. And without that reset from real light, your system gets confused. Your energy, it yo-yos. You have cravings that kick in. Your mood feels off. And no matter how many hours of sleep you get, you still feel tired. I've been there. God didn't design you to live in a constant fog of exhaustion, okay? Chasing energy with caffeine by day and begging for sleep at night, okay? He gave you light as a built-in rhythm, okay? An anchor in your day that whispers, daughter, it is time to rise. And then, daughter, it is time to rest. Every morning, that light isn't just a biological signal. It's a spiritual reminder that he thought of everything when he designed your body, that he created you for clarity, for energy, for peace. And when you step into the light, you're not just resetting hormones, you're agreeing with his design. You're saying, I will live in step with what you made good. So let's talk about what happens if you don't get that morning light. If you stay indoors, if you roll over and start your day by scrolling on your phone, or you start by working on your laptop, or maybe you just get started by getting your household ready for their day, right? Your brain never gets the right light cues. Okay, it doesn't realize that it's morning. And the result is what we call a flat cortisol curve. So instead of that healthy rise that you're supposed to have in the morning, to start your day with great energy, your cortisol just kind of limps along. You feel groggy, you feel sluggish, you're reaching for coffee to get yourself moving. And then by nighttime, your cortisol is still just kind of hanging around when it really should be tapering off. So now you feel wired when you should be feeling sleepy. And here's where it goes even deeper. When your body misses that morning light, it's not just your energy that takes a hit. Okay, the ripple effects show up in almost every system in your body. Your thyroid, your sleep cycles, your cravings, even your mood. Your thyroid slows down, making it harder to lose weight. So your thyroid function depends heavily on your cortisol rhythm. Cortisol helps convert your inactive thyroid hormone T4 into the active thyroid hormone T3. Okay, this is the form your cells can actually use for metabolism, for energy, for temperature regulation. Okay, when your cortisol is flatlined in the morning, that conversion slows down. So less T3 means your metabolism is dragging. Your energy is going to dip, and your body holds on to weight instead of releasing it. You might also start to notice some hair thinning, some dry skin, constipation. You might be feeling cold a little bit more often. Maybe it's just your hands and feet feeling cold. Okay, all subtle signs that your thyroid isn't being supported. Your sleep cycles get disrupted. So even if you are logging 8 hours, it's not restorative sleep, because that healthy rise in cortisol in the morning is what flips on the body's internal clock. It literally starts that circadian rhythm. It tells your brain the day has started. Now set the countdown for tonight. So that about 12 to 14 hours later, that clock is supposed to signal melatonin to rise and prepare your body for sleep. We shouldn't have to take melatonin in the evening. Our bodies produce it. But our circadian rhythms are off, our clocks are off. And so many of us are not producing that melatonin at the right time. Because if your cortisol never really spikes in the morning, the countdown never starts. Your melatonin release gets delayed or just completely blunted. And that's why you can feel tired all day long. But when you finally lay down at night, you're wired. Okay. Or you might fall asleep only to find yourself wide awake at 2 a.m. Okay. You also find yourself relying on caffeine and sugar just to push through. Okay. Without that healthy morning cortisol rise, your body still has to find a way to keep moving. So it's going to turn to quick fixes. Coffee, energy drinks, sugary snacks, these all become your go-to. And while they might give you a short burst of alertness, there's always a catch, right? Caffeine is pushing your adrenals to squeeze out more cortisol. Okay, while sugar is going to spike your blood glucose only to send it down crashing later. So instead of feeling that steady energy and feeling supported, you get stuck on this roller coaster of quick highs and hard crashes. And eventually we don't even feel anything from the energy drinks and the coffee, right? Every time you repeat the cycle, you're just adding more stress to a system that's already running on empty. And this is why so many women describe that feeling of feeling tired but wired. It's definitely not in your head. That's your body running on borrowed energy. You're literally propping yourself up instead of actually restoring. And while that might get you through the day, it robs you of the resilience that your body was designed to have. And then your mood starts to feel unstable. Irritable 1 minute, foggy the next, right? And that's because cortisol rhythm doesn't just control your energy. It also influences key brain chemicals like serotonin, like dopamine. And when your cortisol, your diurnal rhythm is steady, it's predictable, serotonin helps to keep you calm and steady. Well, dopamine gives you the clarity, the focus, that motivation. And so when we often say, I'm just not feeling motivated anymore, that's our dopamine that has taken a hit. When your cortisol curve is flat or it's even erratic, those neurotransmitters, they get thrown off balance. So the result is, instead of feeling grounded and clear, you swing between brain fog, irritability, restlessness. You might feel anxious in the morning, crash in the afternoon. You're wired at night. Like, it's just all mixed up, right? It's not just you being moody. It's quite literally your brain chemistry reflecting that your body's rhythm is off. And here's why the timing matters. I keep mentioning this window of like 30 to 60 minutes after you wake up. Okay. And that's because your body is the most sensitive to light in that first 30 to 60 minutes after waking. That's when the receptors in your eyes are primed to send the strongest signal to your brain that it's morning. Set the clock, get cortisol up, get melatonin scheduled for later. And if you wait until later in the morning, late morning, lunchtime, you've really missed that critical window. Okay. The signal is going to be weaker. You're not going to get the same benefit for your energy or your sleep. God did not design you to run on blue light and caffeine. He gave you the sun as your natural reset button. What a blessing. And when you honor that rhythm, even with just 5 to 10 minutes outside in that first hour, you're aligning with his design for rest, for renewal, for energy that actually lasts. So how do we actually do this? It is so simple, my friend. You step outside within the first 30 to 60 minutes after waking. No sunglasses, not through a window, just you in the morning sky. Maybe you have a dog with you. Okay, maybe you go on a short walk. But just even 5 to 10 minutes is enough to give your brain that strong signal. Okay, that signal that we're looking for. And if it's cloudy, that's okay. It still works. Okay, because cloud filtered light carries the same wavelengths that your brain is looking for. The key really is exposure and not perfection. So don't let a cloudy day keep you inside. Now, if you're like me and you wake up hours before the sun rises, you're going to need another option. And that's where, for me, my Luminette 3 light therapy glasses come in. I wear them while I'm making my morning mojo drink, while I'm frothing up my coffee. Even as I sit down for my morning Bible study, I'm still wearing them, and they give me the light exposure while I move through my morning routine, and I wear them for about 30 minutes. I'm always up at least an hour before the sun comes up. And depending on the season, sometimes it's like 3 hours. So I've always been a morning person. It's just hardwired into my DNA. That's never going to change. And before I found these, I almost bought one of those big 10,000 lux light boxes. Those are effective, but you do have to sit in front of them for them to work. And I didn't want to wait until after I brushed my teeth and splashed my face with cold water and made my morning mojo and brewed and frothed my coffee and prepped my husband's coffee for when he gets up and picked up my daughter's toys from the night before. And then finally sit down for 20 to 30 minutes in front of the light, right? Like I might miss my 30 to 60 minute window. I wanted something I could use right away while I move through my morning routine. And so that's why I settled on the Luminettes. They go with me. I can toss them in my bag when I travel, and they actually even help with jet lag. So they'll help to reset your circadian rhythm, when you travel and time changes and that sort of thing. So I actually reached out to the company even to see if I could get a discount code for you ladies, and they agreed. So I'm going to share that link with you in the show notes. And at the time of this recording, that link is going to save you 15%. So you do specifically want them to be the Luminette 3s. Okay. I think they also have like a Luminette 2. You want to make sure you get the 3. The bottom line is that morning light doesn't have to be complicated. Step outside if you can. Use a light therapy option if you need to. Either way, you're giving your body one of the simplest and most powerful resets God built into creation. So morning light isn't just a nice to have. It is the signal that sets everything else in motion. When you get morning light, your body gets that healthy cortisol rise. That rise sets the clock for the rest of your day. Energy in the morning, steady focus through the afternoon, and then the natural taper that makes room for melatonin at night. And when darkness comes, melatonin takes the lead, preps your body for deep and restorative sleep. That's how God designed the rhythm. Rise with light, rest with dark. And here's what that rhythm does for you. It calms your nervous system so that you're not living in a constant state of stress. It restores your hormone balance so that your thyroid, your metabolism, even your cycle can function the way that they were meant to. It steadies your emotions so that you can think clearly, so that you can respond calmly, so that you can actually feel present instead of frazzled. So when you honor that rhythm, your body isn't just surviving, it's now recovering, it's rebuilding, it's preparing you for tomorrow. And when your nervous system recovers, literally everything else improves. Your weight, your energy, your focus, your mood. So the problem isn't cortisol itself. Cortisol was designed to help you. It's one of God's survival tools. We couldn't live without it. The real issue is the timing. So too little in the morning, too much at night, and your whole system feels off. But when you reset that rhythm with light, you're giving your body the chance to do what it was created to do, to keep you steady, to keep you resilient, to keep you well. God designed your body to rise with the light and rest with the dark. It is woven right into creation. But unfortunately, the culture we live in pushes something very different: to hustle through exhaustion, to silence your body's signals, to fuel with caffeine, to stay wired at night under the glow of screens. And God's invitation is the opposite. He calls us into order of rest and renewal. Let there be light wasn't just for the beginning of creation. It's still his design for you and me today. Every sunrise is a reminder that his mercies are new. that your body is meant to live in rhythm and that you don't have to run on empty. Psalm chapter 113, verse 3 says, "From the rising of the sun to its setting, the name of the Lord is to be praised." And that verse isn't just poetic, it's practical. It points to the daily rhythm God set for us. From the first light of the morning to the dark of night, our lives are meant to be anchored in Him. And when you step outside and you let that light hit your eyes, you're not just supporting your circadian rhythm, you're honoring the way He ordered creation. You're aligning your body and your spirit with His design. Taking 5 minutes to step into the morning light can become more than a health habit. It can be an act of obedience, a moment of worship, and a daily way of saying, "Lord, I trust the way you designed me." Because you weren't designed to strive endlessly. You were created to live in a rhythm with Him, rooted, renewed, and at peace. And sister, I want you to hear this. God cares about every detail of your health. He doesn't care just about the spiritual parts of us. He cares about our energy, our sleep, our ability to show up with clarity and strength for the people that He has entrusted to us. You don't have to earn that care. You don't have to prove yourself worthy of His design. You already are. So tomorrow morning, when you step outside and let that light hit your eyes, remember, it's more than sunlight. It's His mercy, His rhythm, His reminder that He's with you from sunrise to sunset. If today's episode made you think differently about your mornings, would you share it with a friend who's been struggling with her sleep too? Sometimes the smallest shifts make the biggest difference, and we don't have to walk this road alone. And don't forget to follow the show so that you never miss an episode. I will see you next week. That's it for today on the Nourish to Thrive podcast. If you found value here, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a review, or send it to someone who's walking a similar path. Keep showing up, keep asking questions, and know that healing is possible, especially when you trust the one who designed your body to heal. Until next time, stay rooted in truth and nourished in grace.